And just like that, Klay Thompson is no longer a Golden State Warrior, but a new Dallas Maverick.
Klay Thompson is on his way to the Dallas Mavericks. I'm told a 3-year, $50 million deal.
It's officially the end of this legendary trio that was on top of the NBA for quite some time, and we're about to see Klay in another team's jersey for the first time in his career. And a lot of people are debating if the Warriors actually disrespected Klay or if Klay was just being unreasonable. In my opinion, Klay just handled this situation poorly. The Warriors had stuck by him over these tough several years. He went through an ACL injury in the 2019 finals.
Thompson running the floor and a foul. And Thompson grabs his left knee, now writhing in pain.
An Achilles injury.
Klay Thompson has suffered a full tear of his right Achilles.
And even when Klay came back, he remained in the starting position despite Jordan Poole clearly playing better than him at that time. And after that 2019 ACL injury, Klay himself even said, "Who pays a guy after he injures his ACL? But they had faith in me." So the Warriors organization loved Klay Thompson so much that they were willing to offer him a max contract, even after a potential career-ending injury. And at the start of last season, he was offered a 2-year, $48 million deal, which he rejected for an opportunity to bet on himself. And well, that didn't turn out the best for him. He had his worst season by far, and he honestly dug himself in a hole. I know if you look at the literal stats, it doesn't look that way considering he averaged 18 points and 39% from 3, but that doesn't tell the whole story. His shot selection had become one of the worst in the league, and inconsistency was haunting him all season long. Going 0 for 10 in an elimination game was the final nail in the coffin, leading to the Warriors' increased hesitancy in offering Klay a favorable contract. And well, now here we are. Klay Thompson is the new starting small forward for the Dallas Mavericks. With Derrick Jones Jr. now on another team, the Mavs needed a new 3 guy, and I guess they found him. I think the addition of Klay to a finals caliber team could be useful, but it also has its drawbacks. When the Mavericks matched up with the Celtics in the final, they could not get a stop against Boston's dynamic offense, so losing one of their best primary defenders and signing an older Klay that has clearly lost his once elite perimeter defense doesn't really solve any problems. You could honestly make the argument that it weakens their defense. With the perimeter 3 of Luka, Kyrie, and Klay, it's going to be tough to match up with teams that have elite perimeter players. But on the bright side, Klay and Luka both have solid size, so they can switch on exchanges, but even that can only help so much. The offensive side of the ball is where Klay really provides any value for the Mavericks. Derrick Jones Jr. was able to knock down shots as a result of being left open nearly all playoffs, and now imagine Klay Thompson in that corner instead. Having a third option shooter in the corner will make opposing teams think twice about fully committing to Luka and Kyrie, even with Klay not being his prime self. And again, in the finals, the Mavericks struggled to get any sort of offense going besides Luka just running iso ball. And with Kyrie being the only other real offensive threat, it just wasn't enough, especially because Kyrie completely disappeared when the games were in Boston. With Klay as a third option, he can either provide the Mavs with offense when it's lacking, or he can potentially shoot them out of a game the same way he was basically a non-factor in the play-in game against the Kings. I think this pickup was a good move for the Mavs, but ultimately it won't help them be good enough to beat the Celtics. Had this been prime Klay, obviously we would be having a completely different discussion. But what do you guys think about this acquisition for the Mavericks? Was it a good replacement for Derrick Jones Jr., or is Klay's inconsistency too much of an X factor to tell? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.